The story of WeWork is a cautionary tale of ambition, hubris, and the perils of Silicon Valley excess. It serves as a stark reminder of how the pursuit of rapid growth and market dominance can sometimes lead to catastrophic outcomes. It's a story about a company that soared to unimaginable heights, fueled by a charismatic leader, a revolutionary concept, and billions in venture capital. WeWork promised to redefine the way people work, offering flexible office spaces that fostered community and collaboration. But it's also a story of how quickly it all came crashing down, leaving investors reeling and the future of an industry in question. The rapid expansion, coupled with unsustainable business practices, led to a dramatic fall from grace. WeWork's journey from its inception as a humble co-working space to its near collapse and subsequent restructuring offers valuable lessons about the dangers of unchecked growth, the importance of sound business fundamentals, and the fine line between innovation and illusion. It highlights the critical need for sustainable business models and the risks of over-reliance on charismatic leadership. This is the story of how a company valued at $47 billion could, in the blink of an eye, find itself on the brink of bankruptcy. The meteoric rise and subsequent fall of WeWork is a testament to the volatility of the startup ecosystem. It's the story of Adam Neumann, the enigmatic founder who promised to elevate the world's consciousness through shared office space, but whose erratic behavior and questionable business practices ultimately led to his downfall. Neumann's vision was grand, but his execution was flawed, leading to a loss of trust and credibility. And it's the story of SoftBank, the Japanese tech giant that poured billions into WeWork, only to see its investment implode in spectacular fashion. The fallout from this investment debacle had far-reaching consequences, affecting not just WeWork, but also SoftBank's reputation and strategy in the tech investment world. The seeds of WeWork were sown in the unlikeliest of places, a failed baby clothing company. This venture, which seemed promising at first, quickly turned into a financial burden. In 2008, Adam Neumann, an Israeli entrepreneur with a penchant for grand pronouncements, was running a business called Crawlers that sold padded pants for toddlers. These pants were designed to help toddlers learn to walk without hurting themselves. When the company faltered, Neumann found himself with a surplus of office space in Brooklyn. This empty space, which was once bustling with activity, now stood as a reminder of his failed venture. He teamed up with Miguel McKelvey, an architect with a background in sustainable design, to create Green Desk, a co-working space that catered to environmentally conscious businesses. Their vision was to provide a workspace that was not only functional but also eco-friendly. Green Desk was a modest success, but Neumann and McKelvey had bigger ambitions. They saw the potential to revolutionize the way people work and interact in office spaces. They envisioned a world where work was no longer a place you went, but an experience you had. This new concept of workspaces would blend comfort, community, and creativity. They believed that by creating beautifully designed, community-driven workspaces, they could foster collaboration, creativity, and a sense of purpose among a new generation of freelancers, entrepreneurs, and remote workers. These spaces would be more than just offices. They would be vibrant communities. In 2010, they sold their stake in Green Desk and used the proceeds to launch WeWork. This marked the beginning of a new era in co-working spaces, one that would eventually become a global phenomenon. From the outset, WeWork was different. Unlike traditional office spaces, which were often sterile and impersonal, WeWork's locations were designed to be warm, inviting, and aesthetically pleasing. They featured open floor plans, communal kitchens stocked with craft beer and kombucha, and a variety of amenities designed to foster a sense of community. WeWork also offered flexible lease terms, making it an attractive option for startups and small businesses that didn't want to be tied down to long-term contracts. Word of mouth spread quickly, and WeWork soon became the go-to workspace for a growing tribe of digital nomads, freelancers, and entrepreneurs. The company expanded rapidly, opening locations in major cities across the United States and around the world. Investors, eager to get in on the next big thing, poured billions of dollars into WeWork, pushing its valuation to dizzying heights. As WeWork's valuation soared, so too did Neumann's ambitions. He envisioned a future where WeWork would be at the center of a global transformation. He began to see WeWork not just as a co-working company, but as a global movement, a way to elevate the world's consciousness by creating a community of like-minded individuals who shared his vision of a more connected and fulfilling future. This vision extended beyond office spaces to touch every aspect of daily life. He launched a series of side ventures, including We Leave, a co-living concept that offered furnished apartments with shared amenities designed to foster a sense of community and belonging among residents. And We Grow, a private elementary school that promised to unleash every human's superpowers. The school aimed to revolutionize education by focusing on holistic development and creativity. These ventures were met with mixed reactions. While some people were excited about the innovative ideas, others were skeptical about their feasibility and long-term sustainability. Some saw them as innovative extensions of the WeWork brand, believing they could redefine how people live, work and learn in a modern society, while others viewed them as signs of Neumann's growing hubris and a lack of focus on the core business. They worried that these ambitious projects could distract from WeWork's primary mission. Regardless, they underscored Neumann's belief that WeWork was more than just a real estate company. It was a vision for a new way of living and working. It was a lifestyle brand, a platform for connection, and a vehicle for personal transformation. Neumann's dream was to create a world where people could thrive both personally and professionally, interconnected in a global community. Section 5. Cracks in the facade, warning signs and financial red flags. Even as WeWork was riding high, there were cracks in the facade. The company's rapid expansion had come at a cost, and WeWork was burning through cash at an alarming rate. There were also questions about the sustainability of its business model. WeWork was essentially leasing long-term office space and then subletting it short-term, a risky proposition in a volatile real estate market. Moreover, Neumann's erratic behavior and lavish spending habits were raising eyebrows among investors and industry observers. He had a penchant for private jets, expensive parties, and questionable business dealings, all of which seemed at odds with the company's image as a socially conscious and community-driven enterprise. Section 6. The IPO debacle. A reality check for WeWork. In 2019, WeWork announced its intention to go public. The IPO was supposed to be a coronation, a moment of triumph for Neumann and his company. Instead, it turned into a disaster. As investors scrutinized WeWork's financials, they were shocked by the company's massive losses, its opaque corporate structure, and its reliance on Neumann's personal brand. The IPO was ultimately withdrawn, and WeWork's valuation plummeted. What was once hailed as a tech unicorn was now seen as a cautionary tale of Silicon Valley excess. The company was forced to lay off thousands of employees, and Neumann was ousted as CEO. Section 7. SoftBank to the rescue. Bailout and the ouster of Adam Neumann. With WeWork on the brink of collapse, SoftBank, the Japanese tech giant that had already invested billions in the company, stepped in with a bailout package. The deal gave SoftBank majority control of WeWork and forced Neumann out as CEO. While the bailout prevented WeWork from going bankrupt, it came at a heavy price, further diluting the stakes of existing investors and highlighting the extent of the company's financial woes. The bailout marked a turning point in WeWork's history. It signaled the end of the Neumann era and the beginning of a long and arduous restructuring process. The company would have to find a way to rein in its spending, streamline its operations, and transition from a growth-at-all-costs mentality to a focus on profitability. Section 8. Picking up the pieces, restructuring and the path to profitability. Under new leadership, WeWork embarked on a painful but necessary restructuring process. The company sold off non-core assets, closed unprofitable locations, and laid off thousands of employees. It also implemented stricter financial controls and shifted its focus from rapid expansion to sustainable growth. The path to profitability has been long and challenging, but WeWork has made significant progress. The company has benefited from the growing demand for flexible workspaces, and its focus on cost control has helped to improve its financial performance. While WeWork's future remains uncertain, the company has shown resilience in the face of adversity. Section 9. Lessons Learned: WeWork's Legacy and the Future of Co-working. The story of WeWork is a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked growth, the importance of sound business fundamentals, and the fine line between innovation and illusion. It also highlights the risks of investing in companies with charismatic but flawed founders and the dangers of a culture of excess. Despite its tumultuous journey, WeWork's legacy is not entirely negative. The company played a pivotal role in popularizing the concept of co-working and creating a global community of entrepreneurs, freelancers, and remote workers. Its rise and fall serve as a valuable lesson for the entire startup ecosystem, reminding us that even the most promising companies are not immune to the laws of gravity.